You know what I'm tired of?
Well, I really hope you would say living in sin, but we know you're not going to say that. Maybe you're tired of being proven wrong?
Fundamentalists acting like they own Jesus.
No, we don't own Jesus. It's the other way around. But we know our master, and so therefore, when you define him incorrectly, we're going to correct you.
They preach racism, queerphobia, misogyny, and control.
Oh, I think you've got us confused with the other side of the aisle. See, we don't call them people of color, and we don't treat women like they're a caricature to act out. And as I said, Jesus is our master, not the other way around. And we're also not the ones advocating for full government control of everything.
All in the name of a brown, colonized rabbi.
What does it matter that he was brown? We didn't even bring that up. Now, true, Jesus didn't look like this, or like this, and certainly not like this. But, we're never the ones that bring up race. It's always you guys.
Who literally died for love.
Well, love was his motivator, but that wasn't his entire purpose. His entire purpose was to save us because we couldn't save ourselves. He even says so in these passages. So because he loved us, he was willing to go to the cross for us.
Despite what they claim, that's not Orthodox Christianity.
And so can you define what you mean by orthodox? Because I highly doubt that a liberal, quote, pastor who has a biased reason for not wanting to believe that his sins need to be paid for is going to give me an accurate description of what Christians should believe.
That's a hostile takeover of the message of Jesus.
No, that's called being biblical. A hostile takeover is when you ignore the Bible and then just say, well, Jesus really was saying this, that, or the other without any kind of evidence.
If your church makes you more afraid and ashamed, that's not the Holy Spirit.
Well, I'll agree with that, and I've never in my life been to a church where they made me afraid or ashamed. However, the Holy Spirit will absolutely convict me of things that God does not want me to do, and usually it's for my good. I trust him in that. My response of obedience is out of gratitude for the salvation offered that I didn't deserve.
That's spiritual abuse with a worship band.
Actually pretending that there's no consequences for sin when God says there is, just so that you can be paid to talk to people about it, that's spiritual abuse. That's called being a wolf in sheep's clothing.
You don't have to give up faith to be free of this kind of religion.
If you're going to join his group, you do have to give up responsibility and self-control. Then, yeah, you can do whatever you want, but you're going to pay the consequences for it later, so I highly implore that you don't.
You just have to stop confusing Jesus with those who've hijacked his name for their agenda.
On that, I heartily agree.